Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mashiakasaurus, and tonight we're going to play some more Blueprints. We've made some good progress in the last few videos if you haven't seen. Uh, Still got a little bit to go, and by a little bit I mean a lot. We've figured out that there are puzzles we haven't even found yet, so let's get started. And let's continue. Okay, so if you've missed previous videos, we've got 20 extra steps, 2 gems, and 2 coins to start every day with. And last video, we were able to drain the fountain. But there's a door down there that's locked, the basement door. So we need the basement key to get any further down there. Let's see what our outer room is going to be this time. Ooh, the tomb. We haven't had the tomb yet. Interesting. The tomb, as you can see, is quite large. Each of our journeys comes to a conclusion here in the tomb. This floor plan is the definitive dead end. Or is it? Definitely looks like there's a passage here, but it's bricked up. Let's see what's over here. Okay. So this room is already pretty large and pretty interesting. Oh, here's our uncle's. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, so here's where it all ends, at least for me. And of all the picturesque places on this grand estate, I chose this dreary, dank dungeon to be laid to rest, and that same dim, sober fate fell upon my father and his father before him, who loved the outdoors even more than myself. They say there is no stronger bond of servitude than tradition, and family tradition thrice as strong. These are chains that seldom bend and never break. And I do wonder what plans and prospects of yours will be sacrificed upon the family font of convention. What biography of your own will you forsake to add another page to your father's memories, or your mother's, or mine? In our youth, we are gifted with dreams and ambitions. At our death, we are left with realities and regrets. I think there is no greater sin than to perpetuate tradition that stagnates growth, that strangles purpose, that suffocates dreams. What point is there to live another's life at the sake of our own? Oh, how I wish to have been buried underneath the great oak overlooking the plains, the wondrous woods, and the worldly mountains. And the wild holly that surrounds that trunk, a perpetual token of sympathy laid across my grave. What dreadful tradition is it that dumped me in this sunless hollow? And if by morbid example this dark crypt makes an impression on you, and any impression whatsoever on you, if reading this letter within these damp halls plants in you a seed of hope, if these words might grant you strength to bend, if not break, these chains, then I would cherish this tomb more than oak and sycamore and spruce, more than the wondrous woods and worldly mountains. This cold stone room would become the most cherished place in all our domain. I would have you raise a shrine upon this spot to commemorate the moment of your liberty, to treat this sepulchre as hallowed ground, to realize that grand gestures can be as effective as they are theatric, and to, in turn, as recompense for the freedom thus granted you, commit yourself to be buried here, here within this mausoleum of dreams, and when the day comes to write your own letter, to inspire the next generation that follows in our footsteps. As is tradition, Herbert S. Sinclair. Oh. Another place where it looks like there's a passageway, but it's bricked up. So, a lot going on in here. A lot more than it looks like. You may recognize that each of these angels has a hat and an implement of some kind. And here's the thing. You can interact with them. And if you recall, in the chapel, there is a list of angels in the stained glass windows. So maybe our goal should be to put in the chapel as soon as possible and see what comes of that. Okay, I don't think we've ever put in the coat check, but there's nothing in the coat check and no real compelling reason for me to draft it other than novelty. Maybe later, once we have a really good item. There we go, the chapel. Now you see each of these stained glass windows shows a different person. And if you'll pardon me 1 second, I am going to take some notes here. So number 1 is Ho. And number 2 is Chef. Three is Farmer. 4. Where is 4? 4 is the chimney sweep. What about 5? That's 6. There's 5. 5 is the maid. 6 has the riding crop. And of course, 7 has the scepter. Let's go try this combination in the tomb, shall we? Wasting a few steps, but that's fine. We have 20 extras, so we might as well spend them. Whoosh. Okay. So now the first thing I need to find is the angel with the hoe. No, 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 you're last. Aha. Here we go. Next is the one with the chef's hat. Next is the farmer with the pitchfork. And the chimney sweep. Next is the maid with the broom. Next, the riding crop. And lastly, the scepter. Well, well. Not too difficult a puzzle, to be sure, but still an interesting one. We are now in the catacombs, even further underground. Part of a map, but it doesn't show everything, and what it does show is incomplete. I just did that on instinct, so that wasn't an attempt to unlock something. But unlock something we have. The abandoned mine. Oh my. Should put some safety railings in here. A person could fall to their death. There's no apparent way to access any of that. We can move this back and forth. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a puzzle is going to require us to have it moved back. An upgrade disc. Excellent. More of that incomplete map. Foundation elevator, concealed entrance, cliffside exit, minecart, fountain entrance, tomb entrance, torch chamber, rotating gear to north lever. So the fountain also gets us into here. And here we have one of these realm seals. No obvious way to interact with it. We'll leave this for now. The reservoir. Oh, it's flooded. If we get the pump room, we can lower the water by 1 level. And then we should be able to take that boat across the pond. So we'll have to keep our eyes out for the pump room. And the basement door is locked still. No idea if that's the same basement door or a different one, but I suspect it's the same one as we found at the end of the fountain, because right here, fountain entrance is on the map right there. I don't know where we are in relation to that. This is obviously the reservoir. But I think that's the same door. So we've been on the other side of that door now. Lots of interesting stuff. Just from having the tomb unlocked. Okay. Sadly, not a lot we can do with any of it right now. Oof, running through that makes me dizzy. Mount Holly over there. So we've unlocked a significant mystery, but we can only get access to that through the tomb currently. If we find the basement key, I think we can access it through the fountain. Let's put in the parlor. What's our puzzle for today? 2 of these statements are true. Unsure. The statement on the blue box is true. Unsure. The gems are in a box with a true statement. Okay. So, let's assume this is true. 2 of these statements are true. Then this one is also true. And then this one would be false. The gems would be in a box with a false statement, which is this one. Assuming this is false, so only 1 box is true. This box is false, which makes this one true. So either way, the gems are in here. Alright, what do we got here? Let's go ahead and put in the bedroom. Got a magnifying glass out of it. Not bad. Okay. I'm going to go around this way. We could put in the drawing room. We get our gem back, so that's not a serious cost to us. We could also put in security because it has the monitor that we can get that upgrade disc red on. So let's do that. What do we got? Hallway. Okay. We can either get this one, which gives us +1 key in the hallway. This one, which gives us a locked trunk. That's a little bit of a gamble. And this way, that adds an extra hallway to the next day's draft pool. I think I like the idea of it giving us a free key. Okay. Now, there's some more stuff I want to do. First of all, we've got to set security level to low. Change the offline mode to unlocked. Log into the network. Password accepted. The password we learned from examining a document. It was scribbled out, but with the magnifying glass we could read it. Alright, and because we have the Blackbridge area open, we can connect via a Blackbridge bridge. So we can go to the lab and let's set up let's do, when you draft an archive floor plan, add 1 gold to your allowance. We didn't have great options there. But see, Swan Song, you can just make it out with the magnifying glass. Okay. What else? Let's put in a den. Oh, there's a locked trunk. We could put in the utility closet. And then we guaranteed won't be stopped by security doors. I think I'm going to do the storeroom for the key. Okay. Let's do the spare room here. I'd like to upgrade this so that it's not useless. Bedroom, I guess. Again, don't have great options there. And there's nothing in here for us. This we found while digging one day. The secret word is mantis. I don't know yet what it means, but that is what it is. Alright, here's our upgraded hallway with our key. Oh, I'd like to put the nook in, but I'm going to have to put in the kitchen. We have enough for bacon and eggs, though. Bacon and eggs adds the morning room to our draft pool, which is very nice. And then the drawing room. Let's run over here and grab our gem. Ah, the morning room. The morning room gives us 2 gems, but also... Oh, and another upgrade disc. In addition to the 2 gems that it gives us, we'll start tomorrow with 2 additional gems. So we'll start with 4 gems instead of 2. Another locked trunk. This is a dead end anyway, so we might as well do the closet. Key and an ivory die. That's worth it. Okay. Yeah, let's put in the nook. I was considering redrawing, but we're gonna have to do the corridor here. Either of the other ones ends our run. And again, we're gonna have to do the passageway because anything else will end our run. Passageway does have power ducts, so if we get the boiler room nearby, we can do stuff with that. Gymnasium. Okay, I don't like that I'm putting the gymnasium in, but I'm putting the gymnasium in. Could do the patio. The garage is a dead end, and so is the coat check. Let's do the patio. We'll get our gem back. The pool. Let's get the pool in here because then we have a chance to get the pump room, and with the pump room we can do whatever that thing is that we need the pump room for. Boudoir, I guess. I'm gonna take this gem. Okay. Man, I'm burning through these keys. This is a dead end room, so I might as well just put in the lavatory. Don't even have to go into it. The courtyard costs us a gem, but we want the pump room. Even though this blocks us from proceeding further. So we need to lower the reservoir. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the kitchen. figure out how to get it to drain. Okay. Not sure exactly what I'm doing here. It looks like pump 1, 4, and 2 are the only ones that matter. Okay, it drained the pool for some reason. Okay, I want to do the opposite of that. Now it should put all that back in the pool. Oh, it had a unit already. Now I want to drain the kitchen. Why are you not draining? Kitchen, you should drain now. Okay, you can drain the reservoir. But I need to put that water back. Okay. Obviously, we're not able to drain the kitchen directly, which is a shame because I want to. I was thinking 3 bars from the kitchen and then drain 1 more from the reservoir. But it doesn't look like it's going to let me drain from the kitchen. Okay, what if I drain from the aquarium? No, the greenhouse. The greenhouse is what I want. Let's put that back. Greenhouse. So that leaves us with 1. I'm going to temporarily put this back into the fountain. Okay. Now, let's drain the last bit from the greenhouse. And now we have 1 unit of water. We need 3 units of water. Okay, somehow we put that back. Pool? Okay. I think I've got it now. We drain that pool. Put 1 unit of it into the greenhouse. And now this pump only applies to this tank. This pump applies to whichever tank the valve is set to. Currently it's set to tank number 1. These 2 pumps apply to tank number 1. Okay, so what the heck? Completely drained the pool for whatever that's worth. We've almost filled the fountain back up, which is not what we want. I just want 1. Oh, there you'll drain just one? The kitchen seems to be off limits. We don't seem to be able to manipulate the kitchen at all. Okay. This is making very little sense to me. Okay. Okay, now spit it back out. There we go. Alright, this one's already... There we go. Okay. That's too many, but that's okay. Let's reverse all of these. Now, drain the aquarium. Finally. I want to drain the fountain and put its water back in the aquarium and the pool, please. Oh, I might need to... I guess you need different amounts of pumps to drain different things? There we go. Okay. So now the fountain is completely drained. The reservoir is down one level, which we will go check out in just a minute. I want to check and see what else we can find today on our little adventure. Ouch. A security door over there. An unlocked door here. I guess I'll put in the dining room. I want to put in the locker room, but I kind of need the... And here's where I screw up royally. The walk-in closet's got 4 items. Maybe one of them will be a key. 2 gems. A telescope, which only takes effect if you have an observatory. And a key. Yes. I knew that door was going to be locked. This high up, they're always locked. We don't have enough money to buy keys from the locksmith, so I'm going to put in the bunk room. Couple of gems. Not really very useful. And we don't have an observatory, so we can't get that effect from the telescope. But we did make significant progress, and we should now be able to cross the reservoir. Race down here. Try not to vom. Where is the secret passage at? Not down here. Over here. Running low on steps, but we should only need a few more if I'm right. Okay. let's head across the reservoir. No ores. Oh, there's a cave over there. And stairs going down to the bottom. I suppose you can drain the reservoir completely if you wanted to. Okay, we're on the other side of the train. And there's nothing over here. It's just a blank wall. Okay. We are in a place where we can mess with this puzzle, which we will do in a second. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you? There was going to be a need for us to move that cart. I'll bet you. Okay. Oh. Oops. Didn't go quite far enough. Fortunately, this is all considered the same room, so... Okay. There's some stuff over there. Okay. The underpass. A red box door. A cave in. And a glimpse at the precipice, but we can't actually do anything there. Okay. Well, what have we here? I can't even attempt to open these doors. Hello. Oh crap, we can't get to the antechamber. Oh, we got so close. And I forgot that I have an upgrade disc. Let's hope I can make it back to security. Oh. Alright, so we know how to unlock room 46. I want to continue to monkey with this right here and see if I can get to that other spot where there is stuff. Found a secret floor plan. Would you like to permanently add Mechanarium to your drafting pool? Yes. Has one door for each mechanical room in your house. Awesome. And here's the full map. Foundation elevator. Concealed entrance. That must be behind that blank wall. 3 is cliffside exit. There's a cliffside exit? 4 is the minecart. We figured that part out. 5 is the fountain entrance. So yeah, that basically confirms that that door is the same door. 6 is the tomb entrance. Yeah, we found that. 7 is the torch chamber. There's all those candles in there. There must be a way to light them. 8 is the rotating gear. And 9 to the north lever. Okay. How far away is security? It's right at the entrance hall. So assuming we have enough steps, we should make it. We opened room 46 and we failed to reach it still. But now we know how to get to it. And any day that we draft the tomb, we can get to it. Okay. This way. That's the torch chamber. We've solved some of the puzzle. Okay, we're gonna have enough steps. 7. We're barely gonna have enough steps, but we are gonna have enough steps. 6. 5. 4. 4 steps left. The spare room. Yes. Spare bedroom, spare green room, or spare hall? I do like my green rooms. I'm gonna go with the spare bedroom though. I think that's the upgrade I want. Because then it will count as a bedroom, and if we draft the nursery, we'll get extra stuff. Okay. Well, a productive day, but also a non-productive day in a sense. Oh, I should have looked around the tomb for some money. I don't know why. I wouldn't have been able to reach... I would have been able to just reach the kitchen and then the day would have ended. Okay. Good progress. never got any more on our allowance. That experiment never triggered because we never got the archives. But I think it wouldn't have triggered regardless. Okay, what's our room today? We could go for the schoolhouse and try to get more of that done, or we could go for the tool shed. I'm going to go for the tool shed. I'm not ready to tackle the metal detector. Watering can. I'm not ready to tackle the schoolhouse stuff just yet. Okay. Let's put in the spare bedroom. Oh, this is nice. A lucky rabbit's foot. Greater chance of finding items. Well, that was nice of you. Didn't have to do that. The parlor. Or the pantry. Let's do the parlor. Spare set of car keys. Something else is tripping this. Oh, here it is. Nice, a key. Alright, the gems are in a box with a statement. Blank. The white box does not have a statement. That is true. And this can neither be true or false, because it does nothing. So this must be false. The gems are not in a box with a statement. So the gems are in the white box. We're doing pretty good on those. I don't think we've missed one yet. Okay. The drawing room. We could do the hallway. The nook is pointless. Or we could do security. Get that out of the way for fast. Let's do a hallway. Okay. I'm going to backtrack a bit though. You know me. Ah. Almost missed that coin. I don't want to do the pantry or the corridor just yet because the rooms this low on the map are rarely locked anyway. Oh, nice, a coupon book. Courtyard. This is a net gain for us in terms of gems. Ooh, and we get a shovel. Found an old shoe. And nothing. Well, that's awesome. West Wing Hall. I guess the storeroom is the only one that makes sense here. Okay. So now we've got 3 exits. Could do security here. Get it out of the way early and set the security level to low. Change the offline mode to unlocked. Turn to the security menu. Log into the network. Swan song. Okay. Let's go to remote terminal access. Connect to the laboratory. Experiment setup. Whenever you spend 2 or more gems drafting a room, add 1 to your allowance. That sounds nice. Get a little more money. Okay. I do not like any of these. But I guess I'll go with the commissary. The running shoes or the sledgehammer would be all of our money. Or we could buy some gems. Let's buy some gems. Garage, because we got the spare set of car keys. Where are the... With the car keys, we can open this. And get an upgrade disc. Woot. Yes, I'm saying woot. It's the year 2000, I believe. The parlor. That's interesting. Okay. A 3-gem prize. 2 wind-up keys, so you'd have 2 chances. Or the funeral prize. The gem prize is equal to red rooms in your house. If you open an empty box in the funeral parlor, lose 30 steps. Ugh. The funeral parlor is just... It's such a gamble, and you gotta put in red rooms to make it pay off. Let's just go with 3 gems as a prize. Okay. Race back. Go through the nook, because why not? Through the spare bedroom. Bam. All right. Corridor, chapel, or guest bedroom. I'm going to redraw them. Observatory, bedroom, or closet. I would have preferred putting in the chapel, honestly. Bedroom. We've got 7 keys. I'll waste one of them on the trunk. It's a bit of a gamble, but Hey, we got a treasure map and a compass. Okay, okay. It's gonna have to be the corridor. I'd like to put in the wine cellar, but it's a dead end and we have no other way to travel. Also, I note that none of these rooms pointed north. Dining room. Nothing really in here. Chapel or den? That's not really a hard question. 3. We got enough for another gem. Do we want to spend a gem? Yeah, I'll spend the gem. We could get a banana for 1. I might come back here. Oh, really? You're really going to do this? You're going to give me 3 red rooms as my only options. I'll take the chapel. But joke's on you. I'm going to eat all my coins away. Okay. The library seems good. Let's go with that. Oh. The History of Orindia. This book was reviewed and cleared for publication by the Fen Aries Central Board of Education. It has been edited to conform to our department's standards, including the omission of sections deemed inaccurate or unsuitable for public dissemination. Wow. I feel ripped off here. Blank, the name used to designate the realms of the Eastern Waters. Blank is no longer blank. Known to the average citizen, blank. Of the elder generation, blank. We must blank. Permit our leaders to enjoin us to abandon blank our past. Okay, it's a little less terrible here. Most historians mark the beginning of the First Era, often denoted as Agira, by the ascension of the first king blank, whose name, Oris, would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Oris was known, before his coronation, as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence, whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of the surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of those bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but one aim: expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris, and by the end of the 1st century, the blank, a new kingdom, was born. The Second Era. It was the 4th king, blank, who split this vast domain in 3 equal shares, 3 realms for his 3 children. To the eldest, he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspring of the kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift, blank. To the youngest, he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Aries, the land of the northern storms, a wild and untamed expanse which at the time was not as developed but a good deal more vast than the elder brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Erasia, blank, a land steeped in tradition, blank. Interesting. Hey, and here's those symbols that we're familiar with: a mountain and an hourglass. As the Second Era drew to a close, the three sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective sibling monarchs, had blossomed, cultivating the beautiful resources of their land, or bountiful resources of their lands, and developing a unique character and culture that set them apart from one another. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives, and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the Third Era was defined by blank commerce between the three realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future, blank. Baron Sinclair, thank you so much for your cooperation with our department and this investigation. We know our presence is never convenient, especially for someone of your social status, so it means all the more that you are not only tolerant but also willing to aid our efforts in getting this business done as quickly as possible. We are returning with this letter the book you lent us, though I must confess it was not as much help as I had hoped. I had heard that your library of rare and restricted books was quite extensive, and I was told by a reliable source that if a first edition and uncensored copy of the history of Orinda could be found, it would likely be found within the Baron's own collection. But perhaps I was misinformed. Still, part of me thinks that you may have given me the censored copy as a jest, a taste, if you will, for the bureaucrat of their own medicine. If that is the case, then I say well done, fair play. And perhaps on my next visit we'll have a laugh about this after you've given me the actual manuscript. Until then, Detective Bond Margle, Redguard. As the Kingdom Blank entered the Fourth Era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Desilets III was a blank king who was often seen blank, drinking blank, a sight that shocked not only the gentry and the court, but the masses as well, blank. Desilets was known as the King of Blank. No one, when he made the decision to move, blank, viving castle and court behind. The people were overjoyed by this choice, and blank were those that viewed the king's conduct to be unbecoming of his common folk. These blank voices planted the seed blank, which took root in blank, grand city of Fen. The Era of Ruin. After the passing of King Desilets III, the Fourth Era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died, and then the rest is censored. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the blank Prince Learson of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by a blank number of supporters due to the fact that Desilets IV shared blank little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments were hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. That's cute. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield as the cries of the innocent echoed through the city's streets stained in red. The pacification of Fen. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment, who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Learson to form a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors to persuade the nearby realms of Arch Ares and Nuance to join their cause. However, even with the tide turning in their favor, victory did not come easily. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 long years and saw buried 1 in every 3 men. Prince Learson himself added another number to the casualties. However, even in death, he had won. Oris had fallen, and with it the realm. The black flags that had flown over for 5 eras were burned, and in their place, red banners were hoisted in honor of the fallen of Fen. The few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. Red banners. Redguard. Red, 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 red. And red is the color of lies. Today, the realms inherited by the three, Fen Ares, Arch Ares, and Iraja, once again stand united as allies. Though the distance between our people has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across our realms serve as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. Redacted. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of mirth and wonder, a land that sprung forth the greatest empire the world has ever seen, the land of our fathers, of our mothers, and of our children. Blank. The brutality of the pit, no. And then blank. Well, that was interesting. I don't know that it helped us much. Detective Bon Margle took this out a couple of times. We're going to have to keep our eyes open for an unredacted version of that book. Okay, we've got keys. Chamber of Mirrors would be great, except that it would basically end the run. Oh, no, it wouldn't, because we still have the chapel. So we could do that. Let's do this Chamber of Mirrors. I'm hoping that we can complete it. Dodge through the chapel. Hallway for an extra key. Oh. Interesting. One of the lost coffers of Mount Holly. It contains 25 coins and 3 gems. Well, that's not bad at all. Hold on. I'm going to put in the parlor. I want a room that from here exits south to complete the Hall of Mirrors. The gems are in the white box. Statements with the word white are always true. The statement on the white box is true. Okay, every single one of them has a white in it, so all of them cannot be true. So the statements with the word white are always true is false. This one is also false because it says that this white box is true. So then the gems are in the white box must be true. $15 gems. Yes. Can. Coins. It's detecting something over here. Ah, a key. Okay, well, let's complete the Chamber of Mirrors. Alright, before I do anything else, let's hit the center button. Oh, what? Yeah, there's an upside down version of the room at the top of the Chamber of Mirrors. with prizes. Found a duplicate copy of one of your floor plans. Would you like to permanently add an additional wine cellar to your drafting pool? Sure. And an additional East Wing Hall. Sure. And an extra key. Alright, let's go back down. Alright, I think it was this one that I didn't press. So there's some additional stuff that we can get at from the other side now, but that's what happens when you solve the Hall of Mirrors. Of course you're locked. No, ballroom would be very, very bad. I'm going to do it anyway. Our allowance has been raised. I'm not going to go into it. There's nothing in the ballroom. I'll go into it after we're done exploring the rest of the house. But let's do West Wing Hall. Another key. Metal detector is a really good item. The greenhouse. You are more likely to draw green rooms when drafting. Yeah, that seems as good a one as any. The sledgehammer. A special flower gem. Some pebbles. Key. A lever that's broken. Aquarium, I guess? I haven't gotten a lot of 2-gem rooms. An old shoe. Gem. I've got lots of gems. I'll try the billiard room. Another coin. All right, so 15 minus 10 is 5, times 3 is 15. 18 minus 8 is 10, times 4 is 40, divide by 20 is 2. 1 plus 4 plus 3 is 8, minus 7 is 1, times 18 is 18, divide by 3 is 6. The key to the secret garden. Interesting. Key does not fit. Okay, well, use a regular key then. Yeah, let's go with the Nook. Keep this going. Nothing else in here. Okay, where is the secret garden at? The den. I was gonna say I thought we had the den already, but of course we can have multiple dens now. Bunch of gems. We got so many gems. I wish we could save them for tomorrow. I guess the best thing to do is the observatory and get an extra star. Draxus the Dead. Dead end rooms are more common today. That's one that you don't normally want to trigger. Doesn't matter here. Okay. I want to see what's in the trunk over here, and I promise to take you guys through the ballroom. Money. So this is the ballroom. As you can see, my gems got reset back to 2. The coin purse. Each time you collect 3 coins, earn 1 additional coin in interest. That's cute. Clara and Simon. In Eclipse Ball 1952. That's cute. Pages 6 and 7 are true. I forget what the rest of it in the music room is. There was one in the greenhouse too that I forgot to pick up and read. 5 sheets. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to call it a day. Finding it won't be easy. Yeah, apparently. Garden Jigsaw House. I should have gone back to the Hall of Mirrors. I might have been able to continue over that way if I had found the right, if the right buttons existed for me. Open the right passageways. Yeah, well, hindsight. Okay, our allowance is up to 3 coins now. Not exactly high rollers yet, but we will get there. Ah, the tomb. Yeah, we'll put in the tomb. That way we can get to room 46 possibly today. Ooh, it's exciting. Alright, den. Bedroom. this in here. Let's do the parlor. Okay. The black box is true. The gems are in the true box. The blue box is true. If this is true, then this is also true. And this would have to be false, so the gems would be in here. If this is false, then this would also be false. So this would be true, and either way, the gems are in here. Not bad. Okay, let's snake back around. I'll put the guest bedroom here. Ooh, we got another gem. Nice. Starting to not have so many problems with collecting gems. Keys are still a pain in the butt. Yeah, library. Oh my, a trunk. I'm not gonna waste a key on it. Sightseer's Guide to Reddington, Swimbird. The pump system user manual. I don't think we need to screw around with the pump anymore. Let's do Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. Freezer freezes your accounts. That would have been nice, like, a long time ago. And the laundry room is cool, but we'll put it in the aquarium. Okay. I guess the closet. Ivory dye and another gem. Spare bedroom. No. 2 more ivory dye. That's not bad. Definitely the West Wing Hall. Let's do the chapel here. I don't mind losing coins to the chapel. It's a pittance. The music room. Yeah, let's do the music room. Car keys and a regular key. All right. So the words are first words on the sheet. That's number 5. Okay, so find a among the white. We need the ballroom and the greenhouse again. All right, I'm gonna go back a bit before I get too far ahead of myself. dig spot in the kennel. I guess the corridor. Doing security because I want the exits, not necessarily because I need to use the computer, but I am going to use the computer. Okay, keycard system. Doing our things. Set it to low. Change the offline mode to unlocked. Then remote terminal access, view active terminals, laboratory. Okay. For each bedroom you draft after your second, let's add a gold to our allowance. Okay. Not great that that's already locked. Once again, we got the shovel, and this time we've got the kennel in place, which means that every time I dig, that sound means the doors are all unlocked now. I want to go down this side of things. East Wing Hall. I believe we have 2 of these now. Storeroom or the bunk room counts as 2 bedrooms. That'll raise our allowance twice. Hello, little hamster guy. Oh, I didn't see this earlier. Today is a good day because Simon is at camp and he is not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys and I will not have to share my room and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Herbie is mean and really stupid and today is a good day because I threw away his airplane. I also had more fun at camp than he has had in his entire life. Today is a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it too. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back. And if he does it again, he will not get to go to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book, because he won't stop writing about me. And today is a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book, even though he is older. He is a crybaby. Today is a good day because today my brother returns from college and I get to finally return to him the book I took from him a long, long time ago. Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way. Scratched out. I still would rather have had a sister. Congrats on the diploma and welcome home, Simon. That's cute. Okay, let's go to the other side of security and head down that way. Drawing room or the gymnasium? The advantage of the gymnasium is that we get to go downward. Yeah, I'll do it. And I'll spend a key even doing it. And I'll put in the dark room. Three gem requirement. I'm pretty sure that's the vault, which we've had before, I think. Dining room. Not bad. Okay. Hopefully we will never have to come into the gymnasium again. Or we could draft the nursery. That raises our allowance too. So we gained 5 steps. There's nothing else in here. We'll immediately lose 2 of them. The utility closet might not be bad because we could turn off the gymnasium, turn on the dark room. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, and the keycard system. Oh. So now we gotta hit up. Let's set the security level to high. Okay. And let's check out the dark room because there's usually a gem or yeah. Okay. Got some coins. Not bad. Oh, yes, you're such a good boy. Okay, now basically it's straight shot over and then up. We lost a lot of steps mucking around over there. Oh, well, we got a key I missed. Which is lucky because we just had to spend a key. Yeah, garage. I can't remember. Did we? We do have the. Treasure map. Compass. Okay. Let's redraw these. And continue to redraw them until we get one that... Yeah. Let's have a hallway after this. Foyer would be really nice. especially if we could get the Great Hall in afterwards. So now, I don't think we've ever seen the foyer. Lord William Espin, Baron Thomas Sinclair, Major Nicholas Key IV, G. Ari Yenna. It's a weird name. Baron Edwin Sinclair, Count Isaac Gates. That plays into the Count of the March of the Count puzzle in the office. Let's do the commissary. It's our last gem, but we have money. And we can get a set of 4 gems, or we can get a sledgehammer. I'll take the 4 gems. Room. Let's redraw. If we put in the boudoir, pantry, or observatory, then we're cutting off this section of the house. But I don't see a good alternative. Like oh, I forgot this counts as a bedroom. Okay, so that's not too bad. We can do the kitchen. We've got no coins, so we can't buy anything. Pantry will lead to the antechamber, but as we should know by now, the antechamber is blocked from that side. Let's put in the observatory. This means, of course, that there's no getting into the antechamber today. Clavis the key. And the other one is the Southern Cross, and it makes 4 corner rooms, aka red rooms, more common. These are all dead ends, so I'm going to re-roll. The attic we've never seen. We've also never seen the maid's chamber, though, and the maid's chamber actually has an exit. So let's do the maid's chamber. It counts as a bedroom. That's the good news. The bad news is that it makes items lying around much less common. Staff notice. The day we all dreaded has finally arrived. It is with unprecedented sadness that we inform you of the death of our benefactor, employer, and master, the Baron of Mount Holly, H.S. Sinclair. Any staff who have an interest in attending services may contact Mrs. Babbage for details. In following the instructions left by the Baron himself, effective immediately, all work at Mount Holly is suspended. All live-in staff will have 1 month paid leave and must vacate the premises by Friday, November 6th. Mrs. Babbage. This is presumably the staff. Mila, apparently the patron saint of maids. Okay. Go for the East Wing Hall. Hope that it is not locked. It is not locked. Do I pantry or do I attic, knowing we've never seen it? I'll pantry. Gamble on us finding something else. See, like the food that's normally in the pantry is gone. And it's locked. Well, that wasn't a bad run. Filled in most of the house. Sadly, we're going to have to call it a day. Treasure map. Oops. Says the courtyard has the treasure. I don't know that it's worth going all the way back to the courtyard for it, though. I mean, that's quite a hike. Let's just call it a day. Our allowance is up to... oh, no, that's coins. Our allowance is up to 8. So that's cool. Almost to double digits on allowance. Still couldn't get into the antechamber today, and that sucks. And that's going to do it for us for tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. I say it every time, but I love this game. So definitely going to play more of it. But we made some good progress today. We actually found room 46. We just can't find a way to get into it. So good times. Made some good progress. So until next time, guys, we'll see you.